Have a fully unlocked skill bar and what it's like to have all the various abilities and content that comes available higher level in the game. There are 80 levels in Guild Wars 2, so we're jumping pretty far ahead in the game, but not all the way to the end. And we're headed to Sparkfly Fen. Now the story in this part of the game world is the Hylic, who are the frog people in Guild Wars 2. And basically, they're fighting against the undead armies that are pouring up out of the ocean, and they're wiping out all the Hylic that are in the area. And the Hylic are trying to make a last stand here. The Sylvari race, one of the player races, has come down to join them to help form the front lines in the battle against the undead and keep them and then push them back into the oceans where they're coming from. So, you see, Martin is playing with an Asura, and you can see the Asura animations. We try to get a lot of humor out of them, a lot of fun out of them. The Asura are, whether they like it or not, they're actually a little bit humorous. They tend to take themselves extremely seriously, and as a result, they tend to be pretty funny to everybody else. The Asura believe they are smarter than anyone else in the world, and we'll make sure to remind you that as much as possible. And the Asura are highly magical and extremely great at magic abilities. So we're going to show you a little bit of some of the stuff that they can do. And we're going to do that with the Guardian profession. So the Guardian profession has a lot of different options available to it. It's for those who played a monk in Guild Wars 1, this is, I think, the profession that you're going to want to play the most. But let's show you that in the context of one of our larger dynamic events in Guild Wars 2. This is one of our little dragons. So this is a dynamic event out in the open world. You can see all the little pink dots running around down here are actually to show you that there are other players here fighting with us. There are probably a good 10 to 20 other players running all around in this event right now with us. This event is going to scale based on the number of people that are with us. So this boss will become more powerful, he will have better attacks, and all of that will be to make this battle as balanced as possible for the number of players that are here. So there's a lot of different mechanics to this boss battle. The first one is the dragon actually summons these giant bloated creepers that you can see there walking towards you. And if they get too near a player, they're actually going to explode, like that one just did there, and send acid flying everywhere. And anyone who's in that acid is going to take a huge amount of damage. So players need to work together to try and keep the bloated creepers away from you. The second thing that happens in this battle is you'll see those walls that were just exploding. The dragon is actually going to summon bone walls. And these walls serve two purposes. One, they trap players in near where the bloated creepers are. And two, they help protect the dragon from the siege weapons that are set up on the back line. See, Martin just showed up actually being able to resurrect another player there right in the middle of combat. So we're going to hop over and we're going to jump on one of the turrets here and show you what that looks like. So players can man these turrets and fire them at the dragon from the distance. Now the entire time they're on these, there are waves of undead coming around flanking, trying to destroy the turrets. So a group of players needs to be working to kill all the undead that are coming in, flanking around the sides, to protect the people on the turrets. If any of the turrets get destroyed, repair crews will be sent up that players need to escort and keep alive to fix the turrets so that players can get on them again. Now, on top of all of this, we actually have a laser charging in the background here, which is an extra objective for this event. And this kicks off eventually. You want to turn to show the laser there, Mark? There it is. And players have the opportunity to try to defend this laser, and if they manage to do so, it's going to unleash a massive charge of energy at the dragon. And the blast actually stuns the dragon, opening him up for about 20 seconds where players can unload massive amounts of damage on him before he recovers. So this happens occasionally in the battle. You see the laser is already charging up again, and now players need to be back there defending the laser as well. Now there's one other mechanic for this battle we haven't talked about, which is there are the little tendrils that you can see in the background there, the dragon's fingers. And he summons these up on the ground, and they actually grab players and throw them back in by the dragon. So this battle ends up having a lot of different layers to it. There's those who are right around the dragon fighting, who are having to avoid its breath attacks and destroy the bloated creepers before they get too close. Then there are those who are fighting trying to destroy the bone walls, man the turrets, defend the turrets, and keep the repair crews alive. And then destroy the fingers that are grabbing people off the turrets and throwing them back to the dragon. And then there are people who need to be defending the laser in the background so it can get a shot off to stun the dragon so everybody can run in and unload a bunch of damage. This, just like any other massive event like this, happens out in the open world where everyone gets to experience it. So we're coming down to the end of our time here. So in the interest of making sure that you guys all get an opportunity to see the dragon die, we're gonna cheat a little bit and finish this guy off for you. But you can see though, this is the kind of content that you're gonna experience all over the open world in Guild Wars 2.
Oh, I tried to get away.
We shall sing their songs to our spawn.
And you'll see, because you participated in this event, just like any major event, you get a chance to stop and celebrate for a second. And then you get to run off and get loot from the giant chest that drops out there, just like any giant boss should give. And it's worth noting that for the purposes of today's demo, we've actually decoupled this event from the event chain that it normally belongs to. However, this event would be part of a massive event chain that happens across the entire southern part of this map, where undead armies pour out and attack all the villages from the Highland and Silvari nearby. And as they take places over, they continue to spread out across the map. And as they take these places over, undead kill off all the creatures that live in these areas and become the new spawns that live in that area. If players can drive them all the way back to the edge of the ocean, this giant battle with the undead dragon is the final thing that they get to encounter at the end of that event chain before pushing the undead back out of the continent. So we'll take a second and let our sir say goodbye to us here. And some other player decided to join in and do it too. Alright. Well, this is just a little bit of Guild Wars 2. If you guys get an opportunity, we'd love to have you come down to the show floor, check it out, and play it more. There's so much more that we brought in the demo here this weekend for you to see. Thank you so much for taking the time to come see our game. We really appreciate it.